People are asking yesterday, does James Forrest have a future with Celtic? And even though Celtic have been on an unbeaten run in the league, I think they'll drop points in the first 2 league games and then we'll talk about the last 3. Says wait for it. Clyde won Superscoreboard's Hugh Keevins. The same man that said our manager would be sacked by Christmas. The excited talk about trebles is lying in rubble, but that doesn't mean Postecolgou is going to abandon his quest. Not when his squad have come this far. It was the press talking about trebles, not anyone at Celtic, if I am right. The Celtic manager and players have always said, let's take it one game at a time. Up to this point in the season, the £5.4M rated Forrest has made 29 appearances but hasn't made a huge contribution, with just 4 goals and 4 assists. Unfortunately, he hasn't managed to impress away from his goal-scoring output either. Now in his 30s, Forrest will enter the final year of his contract this summer. After this underwhelming season, he will be given another year if you ask me. Celtic will not go through a summer letting more players leave for free. That's just my thoughts on it. Unless of course we win the league and have 40 million to play with next year. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Postecolgou, always a man to put a philosophical slant on the bigger picture, said, the road to success is not downhill, mate. It requires effort every single step of the way. Sometimes you'll stumble. We've stumbled a few times this year as a group and we've managed to bounce back quickly. That's what we've got to do again, but just because it's happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future. What you do know is we're capable of it, we've used it the right way in the past, and we use this disappointment in the right way for next week. Yet, Hugh Keevins of Snide 1 has basically taken all our form from the last 36 games and ripped it up based on one fixture. Whilst also conveniently forgetting that in our last 2 fixtures against our rivals we have a combined 5-1 aggregate score to our advantage. Look, it was bad, but as always in Scotland, it's the end of the world. No, sorry, it's not. 3 home games to go. The league is in our hands. The high-pressing, high-intensity play that's been a hallmark this term and used to devastating effect as Celtic wiped the floor with their rivals in the whirlwind at Parkhead in February, was replaced with a more tentative approach. It might have been a sign of the tension the manager predicted. It could have been a ploy to allow a weary Rangers side to punch themselves out. Watching Postecolgou losing his rag on the touchline over his players' inability to keep the ball suggested otherwise. It might just be a strong Sevco side were simply better on the day at the weekend. League form says it was 1 game. Remember, we are top of the league looking down on the Rangers. Even Chris Boyd believes Rangers are too far behind Celtic to mount a title challenge in the Scottish Premiership. A treble would have been a ridiculous achievement this year, when we look back at last summer. Postecolgou insisted he's never been hung up on the talk of clean sweeps, or anything else apart from the challenge in front of them. He said, I never thought about trebles or doubles, that's a language that's used here in the media. I've never thought about that in my career and I won't think about it now. Every competition is an opportunity to be successful. For us at the moment we've won 1 trophy this year. Obviously our main goal this year was to become champions, and that's still in our hands. We've got 5 games to do that and that's what we've got to focus on. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to